The shipping line was surrounded with paparazzi and scrutiny yet again. One too many ships had sunk, and too many lives had been lost. 16 years after the sinking of MV Princess of the Stars, the Court of Appeals came back to the shipping line with a verdict, and restitution was in order. Finally, the victims' families and survivors would have some semblance of justice, though it was still too little, too late. Welcome to Fast Facts Friday. My name is Eleanor. Just a quick disclaimer for a younger audience before we dive in. This story may be disturbing to some, so viewer discretion is advised. Okay everyone, let's get into it. Sulpicio Lines was established by Go Guokso, commonly called Sulpicio Go. Go was a Chinese merchant from Amoy, now known as Xiamen, who immigrated to the Philippines in 1919 with his siblings. With his brother, he set up a shipping enterprise in eastern Visayas. In 1953, Go served as the managing partner of Carlos A. Gathong Lines, Inc. This was his introduction into the shipping world, and it would expand. In September of 1973, Sulpicio Go established his own venture with his sons by founding the Sulpicio Lines, starting with a fleet of 17 ships, 1 tugboat, and 5 barges. They catered to a niche market, opening tertiary and developmental passenger routes to isolated communities in central and eastern Visayas. He was doing what us YouTubers strive to do, find a gap in the need for content and meet that need. If you want a video on YouTube advice I've learned over the years, let me know. Quickly, Sulpicio Lines grew to be the largest domestic shipping company in the Philippines, with a fleet of 22 passenger and cargo ships and a market share of 20% of domestic sea traffic in the Philippines in 1988. A lot of these ships were ferries, RORO ferries, cargo vessels, and oil tankers. Unfortunately, not everything would go swimmingly for Sulpicio Lines, which is why many of us ship nerds are familiar with them. Bad luck is on the horizon for Sulpicio Lines. And with your help, our channel has thrived. If you are enjoying this episode and want to hear more about ships, their careers, and their wrecks, check out our main show Shipwreck Sunday every Sunday night at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Alright friends, let's look at the bad and the ugly. This shipping line is what we might call prone to shipping accidents. On October 8, 1978, MV Doña Ana caught fire and had to be refitted, being renamed the Doña Marilyn. On December 20, 1987, the worst peacetime maritime disaster in history happened when MV Doña Paz collided with MT Vector, and she caught fire and sank, killing an estimated 4,385 between the two ships. In the afternoon on October 24, 1988, the Doña Marilyn got caught in Typhoon Unsong and sank, leaving approximately 400 dead or missing. We'll get more into her story this Sunday. On September 18, 1998, MV Princess of the Orient set sail in the midst of Typhoon Vicky, and she capsized in the storm, killing 150. The final straw for Sulpicio Lines came in the sinking of MV Princess of the Stars on June 21, 2008 during Typhoon Fengshen. And this led to the capsizing of the ship and the deaths of 814 people, and 500 more went missing. In 2009, Sulpicio Lines rebranded into Philippine Span Asia Carrier Corporation, attempting to distance themselves from the incidents of the past. However, they would also be partially responsible for the sinking of MV St. Thomas Aquinas on August 16, 2013, as their cargo ship MV Sulpicio Express 7 collided with the ferry and she sank, resulting in the deaths of 108 and 29 going missing. In January of 2015, almost 7 years after the loss of the Princess of the Stars, the Maritime Industry Authority decided to revoke the company's certificate of public convenience, which meant that the company could no longer legally transport passengers, and they evolved into a cargo shipping company only. The trouble was not yet over per PSACC, as in a 237-page landmark decision dated on June 28, 2024 by the Court of Appeals and written by Justice Wilhelmina Jorge Wagan, PSACC, formerly Sulpicio Lines Incorporated, were found liable and guilty for the deaths of 814 passengers and 500 missing in the 2008 sinking of MV Princess of the Stars. They were also found guilty of gross negligence, which is the, quote, lack of slight diligence or care, or, quote, a conscious voluntary act or omission in reckless disregard of a legal duty and of the consequences to another party. In upholding the Manila Regional Trial Court Branch 49's judgment, the Court of Appeals ordered PSACC owners Enrique Go, Eusebio Go, Carlos Go, Victoriano Go, Dominador Go, Ricardo Go, Edward Go, and Edgar Go to pay a total of 129,854,502.57 Philippine pesos in damages to the victims' heirs, survivors, families, and relatives, represented by counsel Persida Acosta. In American dollars, that would be $2,241,322.48. Despite this, PSACC survived and still runs to this day. Due to the banning of their use of passenger vessels, PSACC currently only has cargo ships, and they have a fleet of 17 ships. Currently, they are undergoing a fleet modernization program in order to replace old vessels with new ones. Their main ports of call are the cities of Manila and Cebu, though they do visit a variety of other ports throughout major ports and cities in the Philippines. The company is still going 51 years later, with their president and CEO Jordan Go at the head of the table. They are still one of the largest domestic shipping and container companies in the Philippines in terms of number of vessels operated and gross tonnage. This is what happened to Sulpicio Lines and what PSACC is up to. Let's hope they stay unproblematic moving forward and have learned some valuable lessons. The ferry left Manila like any other morning, packed with people and heading for her destination in eastern Visayas. Though all seemed as though it would go as planned, Typhoon Unsong would have different plans for this ship and her passengers. On this week's episode of Shipwreck Sunday, we explore the fate of MV Doña Marilyn.